The reason I call them the quantum bands because I'm not gonna call them what they call them in the comics. So yeah. All right. So last book I'm gonna do. So like I said, it was light week for me. And this is a weird one. I haven't done this in a while. Avengers number, what is that? 40, I guess.
Something like that.
Probably. Okay, close enough. All right. So we're doing an Avengers book. Why am I doing an Avengers book? Because it's another Fall of X book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose if Tony Stark built those Sentinels or whatever.
But now the Avengers are fighting them now. So basically, in this issue, even though Tony Stark did all that bullshit with the Sentinels, the Avengers are basically, this is the final battle with the Sentinels, and the Avengers are doing it. So basically, the last issue, the one before this, when Tony Stark just like fall back and just stand by until the X-Men are ready to start the war. So now the X-Men start the war. Now he's like, okay, the Avengers are in the fight now, and the Avengers are basically going around doing all the bullshit that the X-Men not doing. So yeah, so that's the story. Night of the Sentinels, and this is the final battle between the Iron Man Sentinels. Book starts off with, oh, damn. Okay, I forgot about this. Okay, okay. So the Avengers' home base is called Impossible City. Can't be found. Nobody knows about it. But basically, they send every single Sentinel there to that base right now. And the thing is, this girl right here. Okay, this girl name is Una. She's like a supporting character going on right now. And basically what she's telling right now, and this is the whole setup of the story. So she's telling him the city has a shield up and the city is going to teleport itself out of there in 16 minutes because it needs 16 minutes to power up to teleport itself away from the Sentinels. The problem is the shields will only hold up for 12 minutes. That 4 minutes is enough to kill everybody in that city unless the Avengers show up. So yeah. So if we go to Orcus and we got MODOK, and I don't know if you can see this guy. Okay. So the guy on the right, the dude with the ugly ass looking color, Christmas colors going on right now. Let me see. That's 3D Man. Okay. I got to back up and let y'all know what 3D Man is. So 3D Man is actually an old school 90s Avenger that nobody knows about.
Okay.
The reason he made the team was because of affirmative action. So
okay,
that's why he's on the team. Government told them they need a black dude on the team. T'Challa said, don't even try asking me for that shit. And Falcon, they already did that storyline with Falcon in the 80s, so they had to get another guy, and they got that guy. He sucked. Nobody cared about him. I think he died and pretended he died, but he didn't die, whatever like that. But anyway, he was like, if I make a top 10 worst Avengers on the list, he'll be there like right beside Swordsman and other people. He's like right there. And the only good thing he ever did was Secret Invasion. That's the only good thing he ever did, not the TV show. He went in there, the comic, because he had the power to see the scrolls. So no matter what the scrolls did, he could see them. It, like them, that movie, he had that power.
They live?
What did I say? Them? They live. That's what I meant to say. I always get them confused.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
They live. Yes. That power, he could see the people. He could see the scrolls. So because he had that special power to do this shit. Also, his name wasn't always 3D Man. He was Triathlon, but that's another thing right there. Anyway, the Avengers are doing shit, fucking up all the places. They're fucking up a concentration camp that they were holding the mutants in, and they teleported them to Impossible City, the city that the Sentinels are trying to blow up. So they were like, we just sent all those mutants to the death myth match. So they're like, well, shit, we got to do something about that. And Scarlet Witch is like, you underestimated 3D Man, didn't you? Like, well, yeah, it's 3D Man. So obviously he's smarter than I thought he was, but that's okay. We're going to fix this shit. So basically what they're going to do, Wanda's going to space to stop the time, like hold back the Sentinels. And T'Challa's is like, okay, that's cool. I need you to teleport us to take on 3D Man. While y'all go do that, we're going to take that out. So that's the mission. So they go there and teleport them. And Tony is flying. So I guess Tony got done with all his bullshit in Australia. So he's joining the fight also. And he's like, okay, we need help in the Impossible City. So, and then you got Vision and Thor, and basically Impossible City teleports them to the Impossible City. And now you got this, bam. I love this. I love this. I gotta go back to it. This is awesome. This panel right here. So you got all the Avengers fighting all the Sentinels trying to protect the Impossible City. Because the thing is, they're trying to stop them, because even if one Sentinel gets inside the city, everybody's dead. So they got to fight like 100 Sentinels and shit like that. So while they're blowing up everything and fighting everything, but the thing is, these are Iron Man Sentinels. So these Iron Man Sentinels can adapt to the attack. So they got to keep fighting, but they know eventually they're going to attack. But they're missing one Avenger. So they're missing, and that's when Una clamps her bands together, her quantum bands together, and turns into, bam, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. Now, why did she turn into Carol Danvers? Because it's actually a throwback reference to the Marvel Captain Marvel, which is a throwback reference to the Billy Batson Captain Marvel. I don't know if I should get into that, but anyway.
Yeah, you're going deep, yo.
I'm going deep, but it's all connected. It's all connected. Now, the reason I call them the quantum bands, because I'm not going to call them what they call them in the comics. So, yeah. The thing is, they're from the negative zone. Okay, anyway. we'll go bypass that.
You could just call them negative zone bands.
They could, but it didn't roll off the tongue as easy as the hard R bands. Let's call them that. Anyway, so 3D man just so MODOK is telling him 2 Avengers just showed up on the boat. What I thought your plan was foolproof. Like, my plan is foolproof. You think I was going to make a foolproof plan and I have to whoop some Avengers asses? I expected them to show up on the plane, so I know it's T'Challa and Sam, because obviously they're not going to be in space fighting Sentinels, so they came here to whoop my ass. So I'm ready for him. He started cracking his knuckles. He's like, yeah, I've been waiting for this shit, because they kicked him off the Avengers, so he's pissed at the Avengers, so he's ready to whoop some ass. So all right, so and he turns the phone off on MODOK, like, I got this. So, and while you got the Avengers doing this thing, and that's when Carol finally shows up. Thor's ripping the heads off Sentinels, shit like that. Carol shows up and she's basically telling him, because she's got the quantum bands, so she's only got 3 minutes before she turns back to that girl. So after 3 minutes, they won't have enough firepower, and that's when you get. Now, if I was cynical, Eli, I would say, you got T'Challa, Sam, and 3D Man fighting each other. I would like, this is what they want us to do. But I'm not a cynical person. I'm not going to go there. So they start fighting and shit. And 3D Man's basically like, so you kicked me off the team? That's why I'm going to kick all y'all asses and shit like that. He's like fighting him and shit. And that's when they kind of double teaming him. And he slams and he was like, oh, I get it. Y'all trying to trick me. And that's when the child like, no, that's not a trick. This is the trick. And he does some shit. He basically says the magic word to him and says, treasured one in Wakandan or Swahili, whatever like that. And that's when you get Avenger. Boom. They're not in the astral plane. He's actually untriggering a memory they had. So apparently, he's a triple agent. He's under deep cover on Orchis, but really T'Challa put him under as a mole to feed them information on Orchis. But he had to go so deep undercover, T'Challa had to erase his memory, because if he had any trace, Orchis would figure it out. So, like, you go undercover, you have to sell to them that you're an Orchis member. And you got to come at us with everything you got. But I underestimated you because I didn't think you were that good, but it turns out he is that good. So that's when, and basically he breaks out of it and realizes everything he did. And that's when you got the Sentinel. One Sentinel does break through the Avengers ranks and is headed towards Impossible City. And before he gets there, 3D Man, since he has control of all the Orchis things, he turns on the Sentinels. All the Sentinels deactivated. Fight's over. That's it. So, yeah. And then all the Black Avengers, run and and they run to the fight also to fight all the Sentinels and shit like that, and they just celebrating, they're having fun, they're barbecuing, they're having a cookout, stuff like that. And then that's when you get the Blood Hunt is coming.
The Blood Hunt.
Yeah, to be continued. So
just in time for Free Comic Book Day.
Just in time for Free Comic Book Day. They got to sell this event. So yeah, it's going on. So I only got this issue because 3D Man was in there, and nobody gives a shit about 3D Man. Nobody 3D Man. So I just want to talk about 3D Man. I'll talk about 3D Man. So overall, still a fun issue, because like I said, I have not been keeping up with this Avenger run at all. Had no idea what's going on, but it was pretty easy for me to just jump in and know what's going on. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It was cool, and plus the X has fallen. The X Fall of X storyline, as far as the Avengers going, done. That's it. So
all right,
they moved on to other shit. I guess they trying to wrap all this shit before Blood Hunt comes. So yeah.